Okay. Wow. I got into a big fight with YouTube. And by that I mean I was yelling at YouTube for a little bit for cutting me out of my own live stream. That wasn't fair. Well, I'm back now. Hopefully you guys will tune in again. I'm sorry about that. YouTube's live stream software is still very, very glitchy. Like it's not good at all. So hopefully we're coming back here. So hopefully hopefully you guys will tune in. Wait for a few of you to tune in here. I apologize about that. Wait a few minutes here for some people to tune in. All right. Sorry, guys. I lost you for a bit. Said earlier in the video, YouTube is just horrible with its live streaming service. Just cuts in, cuts out. My internet's fast. I tested it a minute ago. It's pretty fast. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. We were talking about drones, I believe. I think that's where we left off. Someone asked me about if I'm going to get the Inspire 2 in the near future. I said no, I'm not. It's basically a reinforced version of the Inspire 1. You got that aluminum shell, aluminum chassis. You have an upgraded image processor. It's slightly faster, slightly more powerful, but not as fast as I thought they would make it. I mean, if it flew like 65, 70 miles an hour, like it looks like it's meant to fly, like that would be incredible. But I've heard from the engineering team at DJI that they haven't designed the Inspire 2 to fly that fast, or it can fly that fast, but the gimbal on the system cannot support that type of speed. It cannot support that type of speed. The Ronin 2 can support, I believe, up to 70 miles per hour. And that's a huge gimbal. Could you imagine the amount of power they need to put in the motors on the Inspire 2 gimbal to resist 70 mile per hour winds? Like that's a lot of power that's going to take up. So that's you know, it takes a lot of engineering to create something like that. Ronald Fernandez, which lens do you recommend for Mavic and what type to use for different hours? I think, are you referring to ND filters? Let me know if you are, because there are no interchangeable lenses for the Mavic. Let me know what you think. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so usually, so I use ND filters from a company called Sandmark. On a bright day, I use ND8. On a cloudy day, I use maybe ND2, ND4 at most. But rarely on a cloudy day do I decide to use ND filters. I feel like the Mavic on its own can produce pretty nice images. But don't forget, guys, if you don't need an ND filter, don't use it. The more glass you end up putting on the lens, the softer the picture gets. So you want to make sure that the picture is sharp as can be without adding. The more glass you add to the lens, the more filters you add to the lens, the softer the picture is going to come out. Halvin Wolf, what's up, man? Sorry, I cut out for a minute there. YouTube's live stream does not work well at all. It's very glitchy. But yeah, that's what it is. That's how it works. But yeah, I use the Sandmark filters, and they gave me 4 filters. They gave me an ND2, ND4, ND8, and they gave me I think it's a polarizer filter. Yeah, a polarizer filter. That whole kit I think cost $60. So it's a really nice kit. I did a review on these ND filters. Check them out on my YouTube channel. They did a really nice job with these filters. Very high quality glass, quality design in the shell of the ND filters. Did an excellent job there. So yeah, I mean, look into it. I think that you will like it quite a bit. Any more questions, guys? I lost all of my viewers, unfortunately, because of stupid YouTube live stream here. But all right, guys. Well, I hope that the 15 or 20 minutes or so that we had together was good. But okay, Simon's asking some questions here. Any tips of a wide lens for the Sony E-mount to use on a gimbal except for the usual 16 to 35? Okay, so yeah, I use the 16 to 35. So if you want to go wider than 16, try 14. Believe it or not, I know it's a 2mm difference, but it's a difference. You definitely see a difference in the picture. I wouldn't go wider than a 14 because at a 14 you're already getting distortion. So Rokinon 14mm is the lens that I use. That's my widest lens that I own, 14mm. And that's actually my favorite lens to use on a glide cam as well because you get the most stable shots. It's a very, very nice lens. It gives you pretty images, sharp images, of course, because it's a fisheye style lens. Like the middle of the lens protrudes and the rest of the lens goes in. It's a fisheye type style lens. So even though the picture doesn't look like it's a fisheye lens, the glass is in the form of a fisheye. So you're going to get vignetting on the edges a little bit. But besides that, I'm very happy with that lens. Simon is asking, any experience with Samyang? So Rokinon and Samyang are actually the same company. So yes, I do have experience. Simon is asking, no possibility to use a variable ND filter on a fisheye? No, no possibility. No possibility to use any sort of filter. You can't even protect the glass. So if you drop it, break it, scratch it, that's it. Glass is done. That's the unfortunate part of these lenses. That's why they put a permanent lens hood around the Rokinon lenses on the wide angles, because if you drop it, for the most part, that lens hood will protect the lens from scratches. And I've been through that. My camera fell off of my glide cam one time, and it had that 14mm lens on it, and it fell straight down. Boom! Cracked the lens hood. Nothing happened to the lens. The lens was in pristine condition. So all I did was glue the lens hood back on, and it's working like it was new. But you still see a little crack on the lens hood. Nothing happened to the glass. So they designed that lens hood, I think, purposely to protect the actual lens from getting scratched. So it's a pretty smart design, if you ask me. Yeah. So let me know if you have any more questions. I'm here to answer anything that you may have. Great, thanks. Miko was here. Depth of field calculator app calculates the depth of field area based on the camera lens aperture. Okay. That's good. Now, the only problem with using these calculators and light meters, especially if you're like a on-the-go filmmaker like myself, it takes up a lot of time. It really takes up a lot of time. That's the difference between me and a Hollywood set. I need to be quick. I don't have the time to measure light. I don't have the time to go on the depth of field calculator. I need to be able to either already have it in my head or quickly set it up on the camera, see how it looks. If not, change it. I don't have time to do all this measuring, all this, all this other stuff. I need to get stuff done. I need to get shooting as, I got to get to shooting as quickly as possible. Time is money. And don't forget, talent gets very agitated. So you got to roll that camera as soon as you can. Okay? The depth of field apps on the iOS aren't that great, but I've used Set My Camera. Any tips on scene blocking? So scene blocking, a great thing to do with scene blocking, for my experience, when I've had shoots that are actually very well planned out, you have to take a look at your storyboarding. That's exactly what's going to help guide you with your scene blocking. In my line of work, what I'm currently doing, I'm not doing any sort of scene blocking. But I've done it in theater. I've done it in the film courses that I've done. So I have knowledge in it. But I haven't done it in years because everything that I've been doing is just boom, do it this way, like impromptu. So, I mean, that's how it's been lately. But maybe I can make a tutorial on that for you, if that'll help out. Mika says, the good thing about the depth of field calculator is that you can set up the aperture so that you can have it for an example focus area of 1 meter to infinity. I usually check that my depth of field area is from near to infinity. Nice, man. I'm going to check it out. I'll let you know what I think. Depth of field calculator, that's what it's called. Haven Wolf says run and gun. Yes, that's the term. Run and gun filmmaking. That's what I am. So it's tough for me to like measure all this stuff. I'd rather just boom, do it and see how it is during the shoot. Because that usually takes up less time than to measure everything out. That's takes up a lot of time to do all that. Any more questions, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Is that it? No more questions? Yo, I just got a copy of the magazine with my first printed published work, Josh. Alright, bro. Post on your Instagram. Let me check it out. Or DM it to me. I'm excited, dude. Hell yeah. Good for you. Congratulations. All my other work is only digital. Unfortunately, that's the future, bro. It's all digital now. It's print will no longer, exist. That's it. Print will be gone within the next couple years. I'm surprised that we still get mail in our mailboxes. I'm really surprised. What is the point anymore? What do you think about the Sony A7, A9 user interfaces? I don't like the Sony UIs. It's okay. I mean, my better menu system than this. Own menus now. What else on the Sony A9? It actually for autofocus. GH4 user friendliness on tips, but let me plan it out for you, okay? Tutorial. Can you email me and I'll make a tutorial on. All right, guys. With another review video tomorrow. I'm reviewing an iPod for photography. So this is a product that will be alerted as so much to film. Try and do some